Hi kids, I am Pastor Debbie and I am looking forward to getting to know you. I've met a few of you and I look forward to meeting more of you. And we wanted to try something as a church. We wanted to share a special message for you, and parents or grandparents or other people from the church are welcome to listen in. But this is meant to be for you so that you can learn about the stories from the Bible that we're studying too in a way that makes sense for you. So today what I want to do is share a story about a couple of kids. And those kids happened to be my dad and his sister from a long, long time ago. So I obviously wasn't there, but my dad has shared this story and it's one that I love. And when they were growing up as a family before dinner, they would say a prayer and they were each invited to be a part of that prayer. And they were invited to close their eyes and bow their heads and hold their hands as someone prayed. And so they would often do that, but sometimes during the prayer, one of those kids would look around and sort of peek and see what else was going on. And then sometimes at the end of the prayer, one of the other kids would say, "John had his eyes open during the prayer," which was true because John did have his eyes open during the prayer. But you know what also was true? That Patty had her eyes open during the prayer. That's how she knew he had his eyes open. And they're doing what kids do. We've probably done something like that too. Looked to see who was maybe not cooperating or not following the rules and said they're not doing it. But what we didn't realize is that when we were telling on them, we were kind of telling on ourselves that we weren't paying attention or we weren't cooperating either. Do you know that grown-ups sometimes do that too? Grown-ups sometimes look around and see who's not following the rules or who's not doing the right thing as they understand it, and they want to point some fingers. And what God challenges us, or at least what Paul, one of God's apostles, one of his disciples to the church in Rome, God shares, or through Paul, that sometimes even as grown-ups and as kids, we're not asked to make sure the other person is following the rules. We're asked to make sure that we're following the rules, God's rules. To love one another, to care about each other, to be humble and kind and forgiving. So before we start sort of pointing fingers and naming names, we should probably take a little breath. Say, God, how can I be more faithful? How can I follow you and follow Jesus better? Can we do that?